What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. I'm excited about the season starting tomorrow, or actually, I should say today, because it's almost midnight. I'm out here, I got the smoker going, I just put some more wood in it. I'm going to go sleep for a couple hours and then come back and put some more wood in it and sleep for a couple more, or try to sleep for a couple hours. I'm so excited that I don't know that I'm going to be able to sleep. So here's where you and me get taken advantage of. It's kind of crazy that NFL Network and everything got sold to ESPN, right? ESPN now is putting everything on apps. ESPN is also Bet ESPN, where you can gamble. The thing about the NFL, it seems like they're getting greedier and greedier. So, word out today, there's a bunch of different sites out there, because people always tell me about, oh, I don't pay for YouTube TV to watch the games. I go to such and such site and watch them. And I'm always afraid to try any of those things, because, they may end up being that, yeah, you're watching the game, but it's somebody stealing your information. I'm kind of, I'm weary about that kind of stuff. That's just me. I'm, old and scared of being hacked. But one of the biggest ones, I can't remember the name of it, they shut it down. They got it. And they said, I think it gets 200 million views or something on it during the season. And they shut it down just the day before the season starts. So there's that. So there's less, it's a bunch of people now that are scrambling to find another app to go through. And I can guarantee you that the NFL and all the sports people are finding ways to shut it down. A lot of times I'll do my morning videos, and I'll get clips from Get Up and stuff. And they're from, I don't know where the clips are, but it's showing the whole ESPN clip. And then after about 7-8 minutes or something of it, you'll see some, guy there who's doing drawings and sketches for another, 10 minutes and stuff. And you say, how did they get away with those? I'm betting they kind of going for that kind of stuff too. So now that Redzone is on ESPN, or as part of ESPN, where you have to pay, it's a premium product like HBO and all these things, right? For the first time ever, Redzone is now going to have ads, commercials. I know with YouTube, if you're YouTube Premium, by paying extra, you don't see ads. Redzone is an extra, but you're still going to see ads. This is a case of, I'm sorry, it's getting greedy. Now, I want you to understand that, Friday night's game is going to be on YouTube. And unlike last year that was on Peacock or Paramount or whatever it was, and I had to go ahead and get the app for that, which I ended up forgetting to cancel, which means I don't watch TV. I other than football and, occasionally the news and the weather. But for the most part, I don't watch TV. But I've been paying for that all season. And it was only $7.99, which wasn't so bad. But then about a month ago, they came back and said, oh, that $7.99 is going to $13.99. And you have to believe that in 2029, which is when the NFL plans to tear up the television contract, things will go completely to streaming. You can best believe that. I think you're beginning to see the end of Fox and ABC and CBS and NBC as we know it. They're dying. And it's kind of funny because you realize how quickly things change. When COVID happened and, nobody knew what was what and who was who and you need to keep distance, that's when I built my studio outside. And I ended up having, I had my Alienware computer, and so I drilled a hole through the cinder block wall and put, conduit in between it, and I ran out HDMI cables so that way I could have, from the computer, I could end up using 4 monitors out there. So I built the stand to hold the 4 monitors and things. I bought another mixer to go out there and made, basically a parallel studio. I ended up, I had cable TV, so I had the cable hooked up, and I had HDMI splitters, so that way I could put multiple TVs out there, and I had Ethernet cables to run because the Wi-Fi wasn't really good, to the computer. I mean, literally, it was just wires upon wires because, I had the big TV, but, I only had so many cable boxes, so I needed to use HDMI splitters so that way I could have multiple TVs on and stuff, right? It was crazy. Well, today, I'm out there cleaning that out. And because things have changed, I no longer have DirecTV, because that's how it started out, with DirecTV and having the satellite dish on the roof. And then I had Verizon television there, right? So I had those 2 different boxes hooked up, so that way I had the Sunday Ticket. I was able to just cut all of those cables, all those HDMI plugs and splitters and everything else, because all I got to do is set a TV out there, and it's a smart TV that's Wi-Fi. 4 short years ago, you needed all of that to be able to watch the game. Now, I can pull it up on my phone and send it to a smart TV and watch it that way. So, when we look at 4 years from now, when the NFL decides to tear up that contract, you can best believe it's going to change a whole heck of a lot. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. So, expect to see me a lot tonight because we are cooking the meats. We cooking the meats. It's smoking. Look, can you see it? I don't know if you can see it smoke. Yeah, there you go. You see it smoking? Ooh-wee. We're about 3 hours in. Our temperature is right around 85 degrees on them. The first 150, getting up to 150 is pretty quick. But from 150 to 200, it's kind of slow. But we got to keep those home fires burning. Keep that smoke smoking. As always, good people, I appreciate y'all. And I'm going to go take about a 2-3 hour nap. I'm going to go snuggle up next to my bride. I'm going to think happy thoughts for tomorrow's game. No matter how it ends up, I'm still going to have happy thoughts for the game. Peace out.